Hello friends, this is Poonam Soni, Assistant Professor, Biyani Group of Colleges. Today we are going to discuss decision making and control structures in C. So basically there are three types of decision making and control structures. These are the instructions which are used to control the sequence of our program. Whether it is based on some condition, whether they are iterative or whether they are some jump statements. So first is sequence control, second is iteration control, and third one is jump instructions. Further, sequence control is divided into 5 categories. Logical if, this is simple if else, nested if else ladder means if condition else condition, switch case. This is a special case. There are 3 variations of iteration control structures: for loop, while loop and do while loop. Jump statements we will see in the next slide. The jump instructions category is, first is go to, then break, continue and return. So these are the basic types of jump instructions. Now let's start with the sequence control instructions. The basic category is if statement, logical if, sometimes we call it logical if as well, in which we don't have any else part. The basic syntax for writing if is, if you have to write if, this is the keyword, then condition, whatever is the condition, it must be a logical expression and it must evaluate either in true or in false. Then the set of statements that we want to execute. When the condition will be true, then only these set of statements will be executed. If the condition becomes false, then these statements will be skipped and we will come out of this if block. Let's see an example. For example, we have written this code. Integer I have taken a variable I. Now I have asked the user using the function printf. This pf is denoting printf. I have asked the user to enter any number. Suppose the user entered 10. So the value of I has become 10. Now we will check the condition in if. If condition I less than 5. The value of I is what? 10. 10 less than 5. Is it true or false? We can see 10 is not less than 5. So this condition has become false. I said if the condition will be false, the statements will be omitted. So instead of going here to this printf statement, we will move to the next statement and the output of this program will be that's all. Okay. Now let's change the condition. Suppose we have again executed this program and we have again asked the user to enter any value. Suppose this time the user has entered 3. So the value of I has become 3. Now we will check the condition 3 less than 5. This time the condition has become true. In case of true, we will just move to the statement that is inside if, that is I is less than 5. After completing this if, the normal program execution will go. So in normal program execution we have that's all. So in this execution of the program, the output will be I is less than 5, that's all. So this is the basic example for if. What if we want to include multiple statements in the if condition? Since there is only one statement executed, suppose what if I write, we want to include multiple statements here. Printf I is less than 5, again printf I is not greater or equal 5. Then printf that's all. Suppose I have written these many statements. What will happen in case of true? The value entered by the user is suppose 10. So we will try to evaluate the condition and the condition will become 10 less than 5. Again the condition is false. 10 is not less than 5. So in case of false, we will just skip the statement next to the if condition. So this is the statement that is just next to if condition. In case of false, we will come here. I is not greater or equal. That's all. But this is not true. I is greater than 5. I want to combine these two statements into a single block. So I will create a block by curly braces. I will put curly braces around the statements which I want to include in the block. So these two statements I have included in a single block. Now what will happen when the user will give 10? This condition will become false, and in case of false, the whole block of the statements will be skipped. So in case of false, we will move here. The block of statements from the starting curly brace to the last curly brace will be skipped and we will move out of the block. That's all that we wanted. In case of true, for example, user has given 3. So the condition is 3 less than 5. It has become true. In case of true, the whole block will be executed. So in case of true, I is less than 5 will be printed. I is not greater or equal 5 will be printed, and after completing the block, the normal program execution printf, that's all. So in case of true, these 3 statements will be printed. So this is how, if we want a single statement in the if block, then it is not mandatory to put the curly braces around the statements, and if we want to include more than one statements in a if block, then we need to put the statements in the curly braces. Otherwise there will be no error in the compile time, but the output will be wrong because the compiler will only associate the first statement with the if block. Now we will discuss the second variant, that is if else. Here if the condition will be true, we have given the syntax like if, condition, then statements, then else, then statements. What does it mean? If the condition will become true, this set of statements will be executed and this will be not executed or it will be skipped. And in case of false, this set of statements will be executed and this will be not executed in the case of false. Let's see this with the help of an example. We have written the code. I have again taken a variable, that is I. Suppose this is I. I have asked the user to enter any number. Suppose the user has entered 5. So the value of I has become 5. Now let's see the condition. 5 less than 5. Is it true? No, it is not. The condition has become false. 5 less than 5. No, it is not, since they are equal. So the condition has become false. In case of false, the statement just next to the if will be skipped and we will go to the statement that is in else part. So it will be executed like I is not less than 5, that's all. This is the normal program execution. This will be executed whether the condition is true or false. This statement will have no effect of this condition. Now once we make it true, suppose we have given the value as 3. So the value of I has become 3. 3 less than 5, yes, it is true. When it is true, the execution will go to this statement in case of true. Once this statement will be executed, the else part will be skipped. So the part after else will not be executed and the output will be I is less than 5 and normal program execution, that's all. So this is how if else works. If the condition is true, the steps just next to if will be executed and the steps of else will be skipped, and the opposite will happen in the case of false. Same here, as we have seen in the logical if, we can put the statements or instructions within the blocks. If we want to associate more than one statements to this if, we will put them in the blocks, and if we want to associate more than one statements to the else, then we will put them in a block. So this is how we can do the programming for if and else. Thank you friends. If you like the video, then please like, subscribe, share our YouTube channel. Thank you.